Diving into the DNA, are beauty marks genetic? The birth of beauty marks, congenital nevi. Let's talk about congenital nevi, also known as beauty marks, the little Picasso touches on our bodies that we're born with. These pigmented masterpieces are generally benign, which means they're more about aesthetics than health concerns. The incidence of congenital melanocytic nevi, CMN, ranges from 1% for tiny, lone nevi to about 1% for their larger counterparts. These beauty marks make an entrance either as birthmarks or as new arrivals during the first few months of life. They're like chameleons, changing their hues from light to dark. Although most congenital nevi are just innocent bystanders, larger ones may slightly increase the risk of developing into skin cancer. Being a common type of birthmark, congenital nevi are composed of benign melanocytes that develop during childhood. These marks are typically harmless and don't pose any significant risks. However, larger nevi do require some attention for any signs of skin cancer. Summarizing, congenital nevi prove that beauty marks are genetic and are benign in nature. They grace us with their presence at birth or shortly after, and while most congenital nevi are harmless, it is essential to monitor larger ones for any potential risks. The dark side of beauty, dysplastic nevi. Atypical moles, also known as dysplastic nevi, are the rebels of beauty marks. They have an unusual appearance, like moles that decided to march to their own beat, and may be a signpost for potential skin cancer. Despite their odd looks, they're usually benign. However, their presence does increase the risk of developing melanoma, the most serious type of skin cancer. The more atypical moles a person hosts, the higher their chances of developing melanoma. Individuals with a party of 10 or more atypical moles are particularly susceptible to this increased risk. And while atypical moles aren't skin cancer themselves, they do raise the odds of melanoma's unwelcome visit. Atypical moles may look unusual, often resembling a fried egg in appearance, but they're not cancerous and don't require removal unless they exhibit changes. However, their presence is like a flashing neon sign for an elevated risk for melanoma, necessitating regular skin checkups and vigilant monitoring. People with fair skin are more likely to develop dysplastic nevi. It's estimated that around 1 in 10 Americans is a proud owner of at least one atypical mole. Therefore, being aware and seeking medical attention if any changes occur is crucial. In summary, getting to know the nuances of dysplastic nevi can help individuals take proactive measures to protect their skin health and catch potential skin cancer early on. Melanocytes, the artists behind beauty marks. Moles, also known as beauty marks or nevus, are the artworks of skin cells called melanocytes. These pigmented cells play a significant role in the creation of beauty marks. While moles are common guests on our bodies, the genetic factors influencing their growth are still somewhat of a mystery. Melanocytes are spread throughout various parts of the body, including the epidermis, hair follicles, mucosa, cochlea, iris, and even the brain. When these cells decide to have a party and grow in clusters, they give birth to moles. These clusters appear as bumps or spots on the skin, usually flaunting a brown or pink color. Most individuals play host to a few moles, which are usually harmless. While sunbathing might be your guilty pleasure, bear in mind that exposure to UV light from the sun can trigger the formation of moles by stimulating melanocytes. However, not all moles are innocent. Some can develop into melanoma, a type of skin cancer characterized by disorganized clusters of cancerous melanocytes. To sum it up, melanocytes are the architects of beauty marks on our skin. Unraveling the genetic influences on their growth could provide valuable clues in understanding the formation and potential health risks of these pigmented masterpieces. Genetics, the mysterious puppeteer behind moles and beauty marks. Moles and beauty marks, or melanocytic nevi, are the result of a party thrown by skin cells called melanocytes. These skin features are incredibly common, but the genetic puppeteers pulling their strings remain shrouded in mystery. Research suggests that genetic mutations might play a significant role in susceptibility to melanoma, a type of skin cancer. If you have fair skin, lots of freckles, moles, and blonde or red hair, you might be at an increased risk of developing melanoma. This suggests a possible genetic link between these skin features and the potential development of skin cancer. While the exact cause of melanoma is still playing hard to get, ultraviolet UV radiation is known to be a contributing factor. However, genetic factors are also believed to play a role in the initiation and promotion of melanoma development. Researchers have found changes in mole cells' genes that may cause them to morph into melanoma cells, but the exact mechanisms behind these changes remain unknown. So, while our genes may dictate the presence of beauty marks and moles, more research is required to fully understand the mysterious genetic mechanisms and their connection to skin cancer development. The genetic tally: are beauty marks genetic? Recent studies published in the journal Pigment Cell have shed light on the genetic and molecular factors involved in the development of beauty marks, also known as moles or melanocytic nevi. These pigmented patches on our skin can vary in size, shape, and color. One of the fascinating aspects these studies explored is the influence of genetics on the number of beauty marks an individual may have. Research indicates that our genes play a significant role in determining the abundance of these marks on our skin. Several genes have been identified that directly impact the development and proliferation of melanocytes, the pigment-producing cells responsible for the coloration of beauty marks. These genes regulate the growth and migration of melanocytes during embryonic development and throughout one's life. One such gene of interest is the MC1R gene, which has a hand in the production of melanin, the pigment responsible for the coloration of skin, hair, and eyes. Variations in the MC1R gene have been linked to both the number and characteristics of beauty marks. If you carry certain variants of this gene, you might be more prone to developing a larger number of beauty marks. Furthermore, research suggests that the inheritance pattern of beauty marks is a complex game involving multiple genes. The interplay between various genetic factors, coupled with environmental influences, contributes to how beauty marks ultimately express themselves on an individual's skin. Understanding the genetic influences on the number of beauty marks not only provides insights into the underlying molecular mechanisms but also contributes to dermatology and skin cancer research. By decoding the genetics of beauty marks, researchers hope to gain a better understanding of the pathways involved in the development of melanoma, a dangerous type of skin cancer that can evolve from existing beauty marks. In conclusion, it seems that the answer to "are beauty marks genetic?" is a resounding yes. Yet, we still need more research to fully comprehend the complex genetic interactions that determine the number and characteristics of these marks. These findings contribute to our understanding of beauty marks, illuminating their development and potential